I discovered that I use the iPad, the Wi-Fi eats the battery rate up. That's why it died last time on me.
Really?
But I can't see if it's going unless it do this. So, there you go.
I think this was discussed last meeting.
And I was told by the president that it was.
I don't care what the board didn't do it. You want to put it out there, that's fine. But you're not putting it towards mine. Towards mine.
Pardon me?
You're not putting it towards me.
Why?
I'm telling you right now, you're not doing it.
There's nothing illegal here.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
There was no vote. Nobody voted on it.
Is this working? Okay. Hi. Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order now. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance,
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Well, we've got a quorum of the board. What?
His back's to you.
I just kind of want to say a little something first, and then I know, but I believe it was discussed with an attorney, and
There's something to read.
I don't know.
There must be a plot.
You need to the crowd. Oh, well, that's your prerogative. But I believe that this camera is pointing right. Okay. I know, but because, yes, but because they can get a copy of this and it's public, then the state law says if one video camera is going, they all go. Now, if you know different, and do you have something to show me?
Good
I
girl.
think you were asked to bring it last time. Weren't you asked to bring it last time? Somebody had, you were going to post it in the mail schedule or something? Well, I don't have, that's one of the laws I didn't agree with you tonight.
I wonder if it's in here.
But, okay, so I just want to say a quick little something before I turn it over to Lola. I'm going to ask everybody, I know, emotions are running high. Just please, everybody will get a chance to speak that wants to speak. No disrespect to the board, no disrespect from the board to the members. Everybody will have an opportunity to speak if they want to, but just try to remember we're all adults and let's get through this as best we can.
Okay, no, the special meeting of the board has been called by myself and our treasurer, Noel Burris, to address the recent petition received from the board by approximately 12% of the members that requests a list of demands for a new election for the position of Secretary of the Board of Directors recently voted on and filled on June 17th of 2017. The corporation was formed and registered in 2012 for the purpose of providing a safe, stable, affordable, and secure environment. This is what our charter demands. It ensures that the mutual interests of all the members are preserved and to promote the social welfare for all. Article 3 states, the designation of such classes of members, the manner of elections or appointments, the duration of membership, and the qualifications and rights, including voting rights of the members, be set forth by the bylaws of the corporation. All other powers, preferences, rights, and restrictions pertaining to membership shall be established by the bylaws and by the board of directors of the corporation. So we have a petition that is suggesting a contested election. A contested election on what merits? What is a contested election and what can be done with regards to one? A contested election are challenges that come from one or more candidates, and the grounds can include any irregularities that are deliberate violations of the election laws. The contested elections are generally settled in civil court or by the legislative body conducting the election. That would be the Board of Directors. For example, the House of Representatives has final word on contested elections in determining the eligibility of any declared winner. Although the House of Representatives technically work for each of us in CVRA, we technically are their bosses, in fact. The House has the final say. The same with CVRA Board of Directors. We have chosen to speak on behalf of the members for our corporation. This is part of our daily workings of our corporation signed into effect in 2012. The Board of Directors have a fiduciary duty. That means that upon our election to the board of a common interest development, which is this park, directors become fiduciaries with powers to act on behalf of this corporation. As a member or shareholder in this park, you do not have fiduciary duty to the corporation, nor do the members have any control over the day-to-day management of the corporation. Therefore, the members' fiduciary duty or duty of care is to support the officers of this corporation. The directors also have duty of loyalty, and that is the duty to put the welfare and the best interests of this corporation above our own personal interests. Saying all that, I believe the board needs to review the recent past annual election and determine if fraud was a factor in it. If this board can determine that the election was held by a third party agreeable to the directors prior to the election, that the third party acted in a fair and honest way, was open in their methods of election practices, and forthcoming in their accountability during and after the election, then fraud is not a factor and the contested election is not valid. Confusing ballots, undervotes, and overvotes may determine that voting mechanics need to be improved, but this does not constitute fraud in the election. Fraud is defined as election manipulation or vote rigging. This board needs to determine if fraud was involved in the past annual election on June 17th in order to address the recent petition presented by a minority group of members that requests a new election for only one position out of the 4 that were open on the board. This board also needs to be responsible for the peaceful transition of directors on the board. We need to ensure the stability of our board. Our decisions as directors have to have merit, and our actions have to have the best interests of both the members and the day-to-day workings of this corporation. The 9 of us have the ultimate responsibility to do what is best for this corporation, to maintain and continue the solvency of this corporation. And I believe that our members do have a voice, and that voice should at all times be considered in our final decisions, but those voices need to be weighed against our duty of care and loyalty, our laws as a corporation, and all state and federal laws. There are always several sides to any decision we make. Some will agree and some will not. But our democratic objective is the duty of care is to what is right for this corporation first and the members second. We have 280 members and their homes all depend on us. I'm going to open the floor to no.
Can I just one second, can I ask a question on the standpoint? Can I ask you, did you write that, or did you get that through an attorney or the internet? You wrote that. So that's your opinion, what you read. Okay, thank you.
Okay, everybody here? This is to give you some background as to why this meeting had to be called. And just some history on it. A petition was handed to the board president, Brenda, at a special meeting on August 3rd, 2017. Nothing was done about it until an emergency meeting for 7:30 p.m. August 11th was called at 6:30 p.m. that same evening. One board member was out of town. Another board member's husband was in the hospital. Another was fighting all day with contractors. Another had worked all day and retired for the evening. And me, being 81 going on 82, I was in my pajamas. I think some of you would understand that. My understanding is that there were only 4 board members at the meeting, which does not create a quorum, so no business can be transacted. That's bylaw 8.5. The following day, flyers proclaiming an election scheduled for August 26th were posted in the mail houses and delivered to every home in the village. The authorization for this was a violation of bylaw 6.3b, which states no director may act on the behalf of the corporation unless duly authorized by the board of directors. Now, our technical advisor admitted that she had given our board president misleading advice, according to this. I have the email.
Yeah, read the part, not the whole
I know I'm not even reading the email. I could read it if you want me to read it. Okay. Now, couple of things concerning the election that is trying to be called here. It says no absentee ballots. No absentee ballots does not allow housebound members or those members who are away or otherwise occupied on the 26th a right to express their decision. That's, in my mind, discrimination against those members. Now, as to the petition itself, our attorney states, and this is, which is my job to do, is to deal with the attorney. On 8/7/2017, good morning, Noel. I have reviewed the petition and the bylaws. Your bylaws do not contain any provision for contesting an election. Therefore, this petition cannot be acted upon without an amendment to the bylaws. Any amendment to the bylaws would not be applied retroactively to the election that took place, only to an election in the future. Peter. Okay. Because it's not in our bylaws state that it should go to the standard code of parliamentary procedure. Marvelous. So, page 170, challenging an election. States, an election may be challenged only during the time that is taking place or within a reasonable brief time thereafter, unless an organization provides special procedures for challenging an election. Elections may not be challenged after the adjournment of the election meeting or convention unless the election challenge is based on fraudulent activity. It goes on to say once brought forward, they should be resolved at the same time the meeting or convention. Okay, I read the petition. No fraud is alleged in the petition, and there was no fraud. Now, I want to go back to how this all started for everybody. This all started with the board requesting a membership application at basically toward the end of May. Now, when you have a non-profit corporation, you have the importance of what the various laws take place, and which takes precedence. First one, federal law. You have to obey it. Then state law. Then your articles of incorporation. That's for a non-profit. Then your bylaws. Then your board resolutions, board policies, and then finally parliamentary procedures. and whatever the last one is, contract, grant, terms, and conditions. Now, try not to lose my place here. So, our articles of incorporation take precedence over the bylaws. And our articles of incorporation state as follows. The corporation shall have one class of members. A person who satisfies the following conditions constitutes a member, resides permanently in the community, is over the age of 18, and 3, is the owner or beneficial owner of a manufactured home within the community, and 4, pays the membership fee established by the members in the bylaws. Now, then you go on from that, and that's the framework around the bylaws. If you think of a picture with a frame around it. And then you go into the bylaws, which is kind of provides the meat and potatoes and says how it all works. Bylaw 3.1 defines a member as a senior citizen age 55 years or older who A, own and reside in a manufactured housing unit. I'm going to repeat that. Bylaw 3.1 defines a member as a senior citizen 55 years or older who A, own and reside in a manufactured housing unit. Now, got a question for you. Suppose there's an individual under age 55 who owned and resided in a manufactured housing unit in the park when we bought it on 6/22/12. By our articles of incorporation and bylaw 3.1, he or she couldn't be a member. So, 3.1D, which says any owner occupant of a home in the community as of 6/22/12 who were not age 55 years of age on 6/22/12 became members with full benefits as provided within. That was added. 3.1D is not there just to protect that age under 55, is there just to protect that under age 55 owner and occupant. To me, that's pretty obvious, but that's, again, my opinion. Okay. Basically, that's